Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day is another life lessons card, but this is a repeat. It's the Ancestor again. And, anytime a card comes up twice within the week, it perplexes me a little bit. And I meditated on it all day, and, I started thinking about it. And the thing that came up the most wasn't about the picture, it was about the word, the Ancestor. All right? And what does that mean? Okay? To me, an ancestor is somebody, let's say it's a family, right? An ancestor in a family. Could be your mom or dad, could be your grandparents, could be great-grandparents, could be great-great-grandparents. All right, that's an ancestor, okay, that's passed on the lore, that's passed on the wisdom, okay, that's passed on, knowledge through the family. Now, if you want to take it a little bit further, if you're into, family trees and DNA stuff, your ancestors could be from another country, right? We often ask, what's your nationality? Me, I'm an American, okay, but if my DNA ever got checked for ancestry purposes, they're going to find that there might be some Scottish, some English, some Irish, as well as some some American Indian, right? And there's definitely some Polish in there too, maybe some German. All right. And as so when you think about that, the ancestors that came before you from a different country, there's different cultures. There's different knowledges. There's different things that are in your DNA that you don't even know about, okay? But as you walk your path, you also touch base with those ancestors, okay? Because they are in your DNA. Now, most recently, the ancestors I think about the most are my mom and dad, all right? And, my mom just passed here about, almost 6 weeks ago, right? And my dad's been gone, almost it'll be 11 years. So, I think about the ancestry from their point, and here they've moved on, and they're with their ancestors, right? But what have I learned from my Polish heritage? All right, and I did know my grandmother, I did know my great grandmother, and I don't know much Polish though. All right, but I do know we have relatives living in Poland, and I do know the history of the family from when my great-grandfather came over here, to the United States, and he went through Staten Island, and my his brother went through Australia to make it here to the United States. So, when you think about the ancestry part of it, the ancestor, looking up your lineage, looking up what's going on, within that culture, all right? And maybe there's a certain idiosyncrasy within yourself, a characteristic that relates to that culture, right? Now, I often talk about the ancestor is, listening to the beat of that universal drum. That beat of that universal drum, even though it's something that you hear, could be what your ancestors heard as well, as they were doing, going out on their paths, all right, when they were going out on their journeys. So, that universal beat of that ancestral drum that the ancestors playing could be the beat of your ancestors trying to talk to you, to guide you, to move you along on your path. Now, the other thing that you could talk about with ancestors is, I just took it, based on lineage, right? What about the ancestors going back, prior to that? Going back to, World War I, World War II, World War I, all right? Going back to, even further behind, beyond that, you think of the Crusades and Napoleon and, different wars in different countries, right? Different things going on in different cultures, and when you look that stuff up, you become more knowledgeable of what was happening in that area and understanding what's happened. And, take it, even further to, biblical days, right? What was it like back then? Does your who knows if you could trace your ancestry back that far? All right, but if you could, we are all, sons of Adam, right? Or daughters of Adam. We can, if you believe that, right, you can go all the way back to that. So, what does that tell you? It just tells you you have a lot of opportunity to touch base with ancestral knowledge by talking to, your guides, your guardians, your ancestors, the masters that are out up in the universe, up in the, the angels. You can talk to them as well. And they can help you on the path that you're on. And that's what the ancestors trying to tell you here as she came up twice. The first time she came up 5 days ago was, listen to your soul, listen to your universal beat. Make that commitment to walk this path. Okay? And here you are sitting around the campfire, and, the Queen of Bows came up to you and said, you know what? It's been nice, being here for the last week, but I got to get back to my kingdom. And, she hopped off, the hare. She hopped off. But she still said, listen to what's going on. Listen to these life lessons that the ancestor has for you, all right? Or the Son of Life, or the Shaman, or the Green Woman, or the Blasted Oak. Yesterday's card with the Blasted Oak, showed you that you're free from the bindings of being, tied to that oak tree. And then the ancestor's coming up and saying, yes, you're freed, okay, but look at your heritage. Look at why you became bound. Before you start out on your journey, okay, figure out, why this happened. Was it something from a cultural standpoint? Was it something from, the ancestry that's going on? Maybe there's some sort of thing going on, within your ancestry that's just a common denominator. But she brings this up to make it as an awareness to you. Okay, don't lash yourself to the trees, right? Don't bind yourself to silly concepts and constructs. You're free to live the way you want to. You still have the Green Woman out here nourishing you, all right? And the ancestors looking at that, going, this has been going on in your life for quite some time. You're always going to have this nourishment. You just have to look for it. All right, you have to look for that Green Woman, okay, just not to come up in a tarot of the day, but look for that opportunity to nourish your soul, nourish your spirit. The Shaman, wants to manifest everything for you. All right, and in that same aspect, the ancestor's saying, look at the opportunities that it not only been given you, but given your ancestors to manifest. You have to take that step back and look for from where you came from, to understand where you want to go. Okay? And then the ancestor, like I said, came up, 4 days ago, not 5, telling you to listen to your universal beat. The Son of Life is there. The Son of Life is there, to give you the energy that's needed for the path that you're on. And the ancestor's looking at it and saying, you know what? Even in the morning light or in the evening light, the sun is always going to be there to show up, to give you that positivity. All right, look at your ancestry. All right, look at what's possibly holding you back, with that blasted oak, and break those bindings. Right? Know that if you listen to what the ancestors say within your own soul, and you might have to voice that out. All right, you just say, hey, Mom and Dad, help me understand this. They're going to give you the answers. Grandma, Grandpa, help me understand this. They're going to give you the answers. All right, and if it's not the answer that you like, all right, you're going to have to, ask them why. And if you're in tune to yourself and you're in tune to your intuition, all right, you're going to understand. They're going to tell you. All right, but no, you're still protected with that Four of Stones. All right, so you're protected along this path. You still got beaming energy coming in from the sun. You're listening to your intuition. You're moving to your own beat. The shaman wants to manifest everything for you. The green woman is nurturing it for you. You have fallen from the blasted oak. You're free of the constructs, free of the lashings. You're free to move forward. And before you do, just check in with your ancestors. Check in and see what they have to say to you on your moving forward. So there you have it. That's the card of the day, tarot card of the day, the Ancestor. Again, that's twice this week. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. This is Dee for the Spirit's Path, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe.